everyone. RT Bear here, coming to you live from Hack Shack Studios. And we got a dandy of a show today. Yes, it's not tonight yet. It's noon. It's noon here in California. So I misspoke. So sue me. So yeah, we're gonna have a fun show today. A little stressed. A lot of different things going on in the shack here. My wife and I are putting together the Indiegogo campaign for Chrono Mechanics, and we are 3 days into it, putting the whole campaign together and such. And it's looking good. It's looking really good. So wait a minute. Wow, you guys got in here quick. So we have James Hayes, we have Muskie Elon, and we have, how do you say it? Zebulon Pike? I just call you Pike. And we have Sticky Wicked 447, and we have Tank Ferret. Hey, you guys, how are you? How is you? So thanks for getting in so quick. I didn't even have to ask for it this time. So let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, I hope you're doing well and being all awesome today. If not, take it out on somebody else. Okay. Okay. PS demands. Okay. What is this? Okay. So we have what to do. Let's do this. Strike starts the second we get Black and White back from China. Yes. It's all going fine. We just talked to them yesterday, and everything's moving forward. We're still looking to get the books here at the shack in November, and then fulfillment will start then. So we're really looking for this stuff to be a stocking stuffer for you guys. So we'll stuff your stocking with Black and White books. So yeah, so Black and White is still going. The campaign is over, but we're going strong with getting everything done. And God, like I said, I got so many things to show you. I don't know what to show you first. I'm also going to do an unboxing. I'm going to do an unboxing of Cyber Frog. I got my book, so I can't wait to see it and open it up, and you guys can check it out the same time I do. Hopefully, if you ordered Cyber Frog, you guys have your copy already. So Mudman says, good afternoon. Justin Kelly, hey. We have Aaron Alfecci, hey. Lorenzo, is that Sleek Stack? Oh, the Sleek Stacks. I see the image now. Yeah, from Land of the Lost. CD, it's a trap. Andrew, we got Tank Ferret already. P Money, hey, how are you? That's how you say it. Yep, Zebulon Pike. It takes me a while. I can't see the screen very well either. I'm old. Mr. Hellstrom, 74. What does it say? Art found you a new band called The Underground Thieves. Ooh. So is this a cool band? I'm always looking for new music. Mostly rock and roll or like the heavier stuff, like heavy metal. So I will check them out, Underground Thieves. It's probably Mr. Hellstrom's band. So I just gave you a plug. Still have not got my copy of Cyberfrog. Is this of Cyberfrog? Yeah, I think they're still going out. He's got such a big amount of books that were ordered. They're going to go out in clumps. I think he was saying. That's Ethan. So Joe Cool, he's back at school. So sup, brother? Blacklist Universe. Sonic Goon, how's the Vampy cover? Ooh, I actually have it prepared for you guys. So I'll show you the finished line art of the Vampy cover. Like I said, this is probably going to turn into a little bit of show and tell. So we got a cautionary tale, we have a Cyberfog unboxing, and we have, what did I say? Show and tell, Cyberfog unboxing, and cautionary tale. Yeah, so 3 things. So I got to get my story straight. So, we have Serena Sketches in here. How are you? Hey, Serena. Wish it was my band. Oh, so they're that good. Thanks, Mr. Hellstrom. I will check them out as soon as I get out of here. So howdy y'all, Andrew J. So you know what? I think it's easiest for me to go to camera. So I'm going to start my camera, and then I'm going to show you guys these bad boys. And then maybe I'll get into the unboxing. So let's do this. Okay, start the camera. That's my messy drawing board. And we have these. I know I showed you one of the black and white trading cards, right? But guess what? That was a prototype. This is a box of them. This is like 1,500 black and white trading cards. I mean, this is one of the boxes. So we have that, and then here is the second box of trading cards. So there's quite a few trading cards here that we got in. So I believe all of the stretch goal stuff is printed up and ready for you guys. So anybody who ordered black and white, this is one of the stretch goals, which is a cool black and white trading card. And I styled it after the Lone Star. I guess it's a Marvel template. So I think this is all the Comicsgate cards were on this template. I hope, because I followed Mike's Lone Star card. So we found the Marvel template that he based his on. So I'm hoping that they'll be all in with the Comicsgate card collection. So I'm going to do a lot more trading card stuff, you guys. And Chrono Mechanics is going to have a corresponding trading card with each one of the tiers. So I believe there's a start of 10 collector cards. I got to scratch out all these addresses and stuff in this Cyberfrog box. I just realized I had not done that yet because I don't want to dox anybody. I don't get anybody in trouble. Okay, so here we go. This is my frog book, I hope. Otherwise, I'll look like a fool on YouTube. So let's do this. I hope you guys like the black and white cards, by the way. They came out amazing. They look so good. And like I said, it was such a fun experience my wife and I had putting the cards together. We're going to have 10 different cards for the Chrono Mechanics campaign, which is it was going to do it this week, but it's going next week. It actually has Lone Star inside. Oh no. Oh, because Mike, yeah. No, Mike. You trumped us all with the Ethan unboxing. Yeah, this does not have a Lone Star book in it, I guarantee you. Wouldn't it be funny if it did though? Okay. Ooh, gotta slow down here. Let's see what I got here. All right. So this is my stretch goal goodies here. And then here is my book. Ooh, look at this. This is how you do it right. This is not going to bend anytime soon. So he has this this more floppier type of packing material, but it has this in it. So there's no way this thing's going to bend. So that's pretty good. And so I'm gonna do my my stretch goal freebies first because these look cool. I just showed, hey you guys, I just showed you what you're gonna get with black and white. Ooh. Okay, enough shameless plug. Let's see what this is all about. I think I see. Ooh, he might have trumped me with the trading card. Hold on. So I got a bookmark in case I lose my place, which I doubt that because I'm going to sit down and read this whole thing all from cover to cover. So that's cool. It's got Cyberfrog's eye there. I like the, you know, like this lime green with the yellow is always like shorthand for horror. It's going to be scary if you see lime green. It's going to be scary. going to be a horror story. All right. This, is it a sticker? Yeah, I think this is a sticker. I can't see how you unstick it though. So I'll probably never stick it on anything because it's too cool. If I'm still in school, I'd probably put it on my Peachy. And if I was a contemporary kid, I'd probably put it on the back of my laptop computer. But this is very, very cool. So that's the iconic Cyberfrog pose, which is very, very cool. The logo, I love the logo. It says everything. Like you already know, it's kind of horror-based. And just looking at the logo. And oh my gosh. You guys, I have been looking into this kind of container packaging. This stuff is expensive. I don't know if I want to open this though. If I open this, will I lose the collectability? Will I damage the collectability? But then you guys won't see the cards. But yeah, this packaging is astronomical. And you have to have really, really high print runs to make it cost effective. So I have been looking into it for you guys. So I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility. You know what I'm going to do? I can't open it. So I'm going to get, you guys tease me about my safety children's scissors, but you know, they're my daughters and it would be a waste not to have them and use them. Okay. So here we go. So I cut it really nice so I can still use the plastic. I can still slip them back into the plastic. For the foil, it's actually foil. Look, it's all shiny inside. All caps. All caps is Ethan Van Sciver's production company, his comic book studio, like Hack Shack Studios. He has all caps. So, oh my gosh, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. The iconic Cyberfrog Leap. We have the logo in there. So there's the card. You guys, we haven't even got in the book yet. This is just the stretch goal stuff. The freebies. Special backer promotion card, Cyberfrog. So these don't look like they have the same layout as Mike and I. If I would have known, I could have bled it all the way to the side. These full bleeds are pretty cool. You can get the image a lot bigger. So this is for the future. And then we have the Salamandroid, or is it Mandroid? Yeah, card. I want to say Salamander, but that would be, yeah, Salamandroid. That's pretty cool. So there's that. It's a little darker, but you can see it. It's got the logo on there. And then we have the stats on the back. Here, it's got his home world. He's one heavy mofo. So we have abilities, first appearance, home world, species, and his real name. Oh, they have real names. I didn't know that. That's cool. So I'll find that out when I read the book. To be honest, I know very little about this character. So I can't wait to read the book. So it'll definitely, when I read the book, it will be from somebody who has no knowledge of any of it. So I believe this is the chromium cover. So Ethan was very generous with his stretch goals, and he upgraded this into, I believe, into the chromium cover. Holy moly, you guys. This camera will not do it justice. When you hold this book, it is substantial. Yeah, so we have Ethan's company there, the all caps. We have Cyberfrog, Blood Honey, and then we have the credits there. And then the back is the all caps logo. So let's see. Ooh, signed. Look at that. I feel special. I feel so special. You guys, this is like Christmas come early. This is Christmas in October. Also, that's cool. It's kind of on like art paper. And you know what? It is Bristol board. This is probably a good high quality Bristol. So this is probably where he'll do his sketches too. So anybody who bought the book will get their sketch in there. So credit page, can you see this? So the book is dedicated to his wife and kids. That's pretty cool. To each everyday fan who helped Cyber Frog to wake up again. That's me. He thanked me personally. Cool. All right. Part 1. So this is the part where I'm going to say, if you don't want a spoiler, this will be a spoiler alert. So All Caps Comics presents Cyber Frog Blood Honey, written and drawn by Ethan Van Sciver. Very cool. Oh, cool. He has the credits go like a movie where they keep putting the credits throughout the story as the story unfolds. That's pretty cool. I always like that. Wow, this is pretty. And Cyber Frog appears on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on page 6. So he gets you into the frog action very quickly. That's always good. And you know what? For an origin story, you guys, it's very hard. It is very hard to get your character, your main character, in that early as the character themselves. I guess Cyberfrog doesn't really have an alter ego, so maybe it's a little easier, but it's still pretty challenging. And then we have Salamandroid here on a double page. Wow, this is so nice. I hope you guys can see this. It looks a little dark. Let me see if this will help. Will this help, or is this going to blow it out? Now we got the glare. Okay, let me try this. See if this is less. Nah. Sorry, you guys. Like, it's really, the lighting here in this room is really weird. So it's either too dark or it's blown out, the lighting. Ooh, sexy. I think her name's Heather. So she shows up. Look at that. Yeah, yeah. So this looks really, really nice. Part 2. There's a lot of thought. I'm not even reading this, but I can see a lot of thought, work, and energy went into this. I know it takes a long time to do these books, but when you see something like this, and hopefully when you see black and white, you can see the level of work that went into it. So very, very cool. So I got my book. Okay, so then I guess you can do me another sketch here. So when I see Ethan, I'm going to go, hey, sketch me up. Sketch me up. So we got the Hall of Heroes. So I think this is probably the special thanks page. So he's got a cover. Is this a cover gallery? Wow, there's a lot of extras in here. Oh, there's a concept work in progress stuff. I did not know that. That is cool. That is very cool. The Cyber Frogs Army bonus material. This was unexpected. Very, very cool. And I believe this is Kyle Ritter's piece here that he penciled and colored. Wow. So I didn't even have to buy the other covers. I got them in this one. Sweet. So thank you very much, Ethan. This book is a triumph. I can't wait to read it. I'll probably read it over the weekend. Today is going to be crazy busy for me. But yeah, I got my Cyber Frog. So Christmas came early. Christmas came in October. So very, very cool. So if you guys have ordered your Cyber Frog, I'm sure it's on its way soon if I got mine. So let me go back to the chat, see what everybody's up to. Gary, Artist Pro Secrets, is bopping in. He bopped his little head in. So title 10, no. Oh, what's no? That sounds bad. That sounds bad. All right, I'm backing up. Hey, Kyung Lee is in here. Hey, Kyung, we gotta take that trip into. We got invited to go to the Disney Studios to hang out with a friend of mine that works at Disney Marvel. And we'll probably get to see a bunch of concept stuff for the movies. So we still need to do that. We need to set a date. Kyung Lee and myself are going to go on a date. Okay, so Andrew drew it. Leave it. Okay, so hi all, Gary Shipman. So I think Gary is going to do a what is it? It is called the auction, the Friday night auction. So I think Gary's going to host that tonight. So I'm going to try to bop in, but like I said, today is going to be a crazy, crazy day because also we are going to do a pontificators tonight, and we will not have Chester Busby III will not be in the chat. So maybe Kyung Lee could come in and pontificate with us tonight. I got to invite him. I shouldn't have done it here live. I put him on the spot, but maybe he can come in. It's around 6:00 Pacific Standard Time. So we got James Hayes. I've not opened any foil wrapped. Oh man, did I blow this? I've not opened any foil wrapped cards for any campaign so far. Yeah, because I probably just destroyed the value of it. But to be honest, I mean, I do collect, but I'm not one of those crazy collectors that has to have everything pristine. So I keep my books, but I read them. Most of my stuff is well loved. So Sketch Therapy, how are you, man? That's why I got the 2 of everything tier. Smart man. So you can read your stuff and you can have one for packing away for posterity. Okay, so Slick Rick, hey, how are you? They got people to waste their money on that card packaging. Yeah, I don't know. It's very, very expensive. It's very cool, but very expensive. Excuse me. And to be honest, I mean, if you're going to sell it retail, it makes sense that they would be in plastic. Or if you put a slab of gum in there, like the old school stuff. But for something like this, it doesn't necessarily need to be in the packaging. And like, Sketch was saying, and whoever else before that, as soon as you open the packets, the value goes down. So, don't put it in the packet. So that way you can enjoy the card, without devaluing it. He's opening it. Alpha Proto, Title 10. No, hey, yeah, if you're still listening, Kyung, there's 2 things we got to go over tonight and the Disney trip. So Andrew J, Gary Art, Pro Art, hey there. Okay, the lighting, the video lighting on your skin makes it look like yeah, what the hell, man? I don't know, man. I don't understand this lighting. Wax packs are the ones that came with gum. Wax packs? What are wax packs? Oh, they're probably the non-metallic looking ones. It's Art's secret. He's a pale vampire. This is the time of year. What keeps the dad from CGing around? Okay, I love the chromium cover, but I hate it had to be printed in Canada, then shipped to the US. Yeah, all that stuff takes time because it has to go through customs and everything. So it takes longer. The black and white book is being made in China. So there's also a week delay for us because the whole country takes a week off. So we hit into that time. So thank you, China, for delaying the black and white shipping by a week. So Shinto Ketchup, got to go. Bye. I didn't even know you were here, but take care. Have a good day. Vilnid, sketch me up. Okay. If I read all these, I'll never get a show going. Still waiting for my Cyber Frog. Okay. How are you doing, Blacklist Universe? When is the Pontificators? It is tonight, and we go about 6:00. Like I said, Pacific Standard Time. So, why all the Canadian hate? Cry, cry, cry. Hey, man, my lineage is all Canadian. My dad is French Canadian, and his whole family. So thanks, China. Yeah, thanks, China. Okay, so we got the unboxing. I was going to say I kind of teased it with the title. So this is where I'm going to get deep. And here's my cautionary tale. And I'll try to sum it up and not go too long. And maybe we can cover a little bit more of this on Pontificators tonight. But I have a cautionary tale to tell. And the reason I'm saying this is so, one, the people that follow all the Comicsgate artists and the people that were Comicsgate and all the stuff that's going on can kind of maybe understand a little bit of my position here and understand the situation. But mostly it's just a cautionary tale to all involved, to all who care and all who are involved with putting books together and YouTubing and all that stuff. Just a quick backstory. I left Marvel in the early 90s and went with a bunch of renegade artists to help form Image Comics. So there was a lot more than just the core 7 guys. And just to recap, it was Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, Rob Liefeld, Eric Larson, Jim Valentino, Mark Silvestri, and I think Whilce Portacio was in the initial 7. So then there were all the supporting characters or artists like myself, inkers, finishers, colorists, letterers, the whole 9 yards. So we all left Marvel and started Image Comics. And so Image Comics the first year was all for one for all. So we were the 3 Musketeers. We were the 7 Musketeers plus supporting cast. And so the whole thing was kind of, in a nutshell and in the crudest way possible, it was like up years to Marvel, to mainstay comics. So one of the things was, the main thing that was on the table was just creative freedom and to reap the rewards of your creation. So Marvel was taking the lion's share, which naturally they would, and that wasn't the problem. But there was still a lot of money and still a lot of things that they could have done for us, which they did not. And they were asked of them, could you maybe have a better profit sharing or ownership of characters, things like that. And so deaf ears. So Image Comics was formed. So when we were putting this thing together, and I do say we were all wooed, we all hung out, we had dinners, we had conferences, we had all those things. So there really was this camaraderie of people, and we were all looking exactly in the same direction. There wasn't a whole lot of side ideas. There was just like, let's publish books, and together we are stronger than the one. So if Jim Lee would have left Marvel and started his own, Wildcats on his own, with, Wildstorm publishing or whatever, it would have made a mark, but it wouldn't have made the mark that 7 of them did. And when I say 7, I also mean, people like myself as well, because there was a lot of other people that left too. And so what you have is, like, even if Todd would have left, Todd would have done good, but it wouldn't have been legend now. Like, it's legend. It's legendary. Because I remember having a conversation with Jim Lee, and we were talking, and I said, this is like Pacific Comics, because if you guys don't know, there was a Pacific Comics, and it was here in San Diego, and Jim and Wildstorm Homage Studios was all San Diego based. So he was very familiar with Pacific Comics. Pacific Comics, if you don't know, I believe they were the first ones to publish Rocketeer. But what they were known for is they had all the top talents, or they had top talents. So they had Jack Kirby, they had Bernie Wrightson, they had Neil Adams, they had Mike Grill. They had a bunch of top tier talent. that all published creator-owned books for that company. And it was amazing. It was amazing. It got me back into comics because they were more adult oriented. They weren't like, I mean, kids could read them, so they weren't like crazy adult, but they were more adult themed. They were less kind of superhero-y and more just action adventure stories. So I loved the hell out of it. And also I tried to get jobs there, and I actually did get a job, but they went out of business before I could get my my project out. So that was kind of the template for Image. But I remember having the conversation with Jim, and then Jim said, "Yes, Art, but the difference is those guys were not at the top of their game. Those guys were still top talents, you know, Neil Adams, Jack Kirby, but they were already sliding. They weren't at the peak. When we all left Marvel, we were at the peak of our career. I mean, we still ended up sustaining and doing great things after, and we're continuing to do great work. But at that time, we were at the peak. We were all the top dogs at Marvel. So, and there was no exception. All the top dogs left. So what you have is you have an amazing movement that's happening. You have 7 Corps with all the supporters coming out and starting their own publishing company. So I've always compared Comicsgate to Image Comics. And the reason why is because this is actually making an impact the way Image Comics did. A year ago, it was revolutionizing everything. I'm so proud to be part of this. I was proud to be part of Image, and I'm proud to be part of Comicsgate in this movement. Comicsgate to me is just a name. It's a banner of what we all publish and hang out under. So it might have different meaning for different people. I don't really give a crap. It's just a name to me. And so it's like Image Comics, you know, that's what it is. There's a belief, you know, that we can do it better, and there's camaraderie with a lot of different creative people. And the reason I think this is going to succeed and big, and this is where my cautionary tale comes in, is because it is working. This is amazing. I've been crowdfunding. I crowdfunded 2 books before Black and White, and that was through Kickstarter, and they did okay. And a lot of my peers were kickstarting books too, creator-owned books, and they were doing okay. They weren't doing great. You come over, you know, I started hanging out with Ethan, Mike Miller, you know, Mitch Bratweiser, you know, John Malin, and the camaraderie is instant. We're all sharing a belief. We're all thinking, you know, our egos thinking we could do it better. And this platform and this way of doing business is a modern Image Comics. And what is making this so amazing is YouTube. We didn't have this in the Image days. So we have a YouTube platform, and we share our YouTube channels with each other. We have each other come on. I mean, you saw it in the chat, all the people that were here. So we share, we cross over. Even though we have differences, we still share, and we promote each other's books. You cannot pay enough money for this kind of promotion, you guys. When Ethan says, go pick up Black and White, or hopefully when he says, go pick up Chrono Mechanics, it has weight. It's like putting an ad out in Wizard Comics when Wizard was a thing. And those were expensive, you guys. Those were expensive. So any kind of promotion in the day, you had to pay for. And it was very expensive. And it didn't work as well as this. We're bringing this stuff, these messages, these ideas, these IPs directly to you guys. I hope I'm not boring you guys in the chat, because I noticed the chat is slowing down. But I think this is important to talk about. So I've kind of prefaced the story with a historical Image Comics movement. Okay, so I believe Comicsgate the first year was similar to Image Comics the first year. Oh, we're on the edge. Okay, I got to put this up. You guys are awesome. Give our a thumbs up. I love the more. I love the deep more. Okay, so I think he's just meaning when I get deep in my conversation. So thank you guys. And yeah, I'm still not that great at at promoting this stuff. So yeah, if you could like, subscribe, thumbs up, and share this on your Twitters, that would be great. And Cam, oh wait, that wasn't it. It shifted. Where are you, Cam? Oh God, it shifted quick. We are on the edge of our seats. Yeah, thank you. Great view. Okay. Yeah, and thank you, Christ Energetics. If you guys don't know, he's a great composer musically, and he did the theme song for Black and White. So I still, this is part of the community, guys. This is part of the community. This guy, I've never even met him, and we were just talking one day, and he said, "Hey, maybe we could do some music." So I started talking about the James Bond music theme, and how Black and White was kind of spy oriented. So he came up with a great, like, modern Bond, like Black and White music theme. Black and White has its own music, you guys. This shit is amazing. You guys are so cool. We are enthralled. Yes. Okay. So we're just listening. Perfect. So I'll keep going. So we have basically our historical Image comics, and now I'm relating it to Comicsgate. So Comicsgate, the first year was all for one for all, kind of like Image. And so here's the cautionary part of it, so you guys understand where we're all coming from and everything. So then what happens is you have the 7 core people that are all now building studios. They're building IPs. They're selling millions of copies every month. They're making millions of dollars. I'm just going to say it. The price breakdown on Black and White was $1 per cover. So when Black and White came out through Image in '94, I made $1 off of every cover. Actually, I think I made more. That's the basic deal. Since I was part of the founders, I think I made $1.25 or something like that. So the founders made, I think, $1.25 or $1.50 or something like that. So I almost got like what Jim was making off of every book, or Rob, or Mark Silvestri. So it was very, very generous. So the reason I brought up the money is because Black and White sold over 700,000 copies, the miniseries. So do the math. So if Rob is selling 1 million copies of Youngblood every month, he's making over $1 million gross off the sales of the book. So you put out 3 of those books, that's $3 million a month, over $3 million a month. This is crazy, crazy, crazy money. And I'm only telling you guys this. This is not me trying to brag. It's trying to put things in a historical perspective. Okay, so to relate it to Comicsgate, some of these books are making close to $1 million, if not $1 million, over the year that they've been up. Okay, so it's not quite Image money, but for the way the industry is right now, the industry is not as healthy as it was in '94. So because even DC books and Marvel books were selling that, so it wasn't just the Image books. Excuse me, I was taking a drink. So all the books were selling that. So you had a healthier industry. So in a weakened industry that we're in right now, these are Image numbers, you guys. When Black and White, we did almost 70K. When you put up those kind of numbers, these are going to get notice from the industry. These are astronomical. When Doug TenNapel put out his second campaign, and 800,000 or whatever the heck Earthworm Jim did. These are crazy numbers. I just want you guys to know this is a very special time in the industry. So I can't emphasize it enough how amazing this time in comics history is. It sounds like I'm overstating, but I'm not. I've been doing this for 35 years, you guys. I'm whelping up just thinking about the emotional aspects of this, to be even part of this movement. I'm so, so very proud to be part of this group. Okay, so you guys know where I'm coming from. Historical perspective. First year, We're all hanging out. We're all having a good time. We're all sharing. We're laughing. We're having a great time. Okay. So just like what happened with Image Comics, as soon as success starts, already 7 super egos. Comicsgate is not any different. Super egos. Okay. So as soon as everybody starts realizing they don't need the other guy, things start falling apart. And it's not, let me back up for a minute. It's not just super egos, because that might be an overstatement. It might just be human nature. So if you've ever noticed when there's emergency, the human condition, we bond together. We all work towards fixing whatever it is. So when humans are under fire, they usually bond together. Or even something as simple as, like, if you're waiting in line for your favorite concert, show to start, and you're in a crazy line, you end up making friends with a lot of strangers because you're in line for maybe an hour, right? Or the movies. You start finding camaraderie and you start hanging out because there's a common goal. You guys are all in this line for an hour and you're trying to make the best of it. So you're commiserating. You're like, hey, this line sucks. Yeah, but the band's great. So you start talking, right? You find commonality. So you start hanging out. Oh, wait a minute. So I think these are super chats. They show up different. So Albino Thunderbuns, $5. Thank you so much. Thanks for the stream art. I've talked about image CG comparisons with anyone who will listen. Lots of lessons can be applied for mutual benefit, and that's exactly what I'm getting at. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys get this. You guys get me. This is an amazing thing. So okay, so we have that. So maybe it's just human nature. It's human nature to bond together when you're trying to build something or when there's camaraderie. But then as soon as you don't need that other person, as soon as you see the movie or the concert, you probably never talk to that person again or see that person again, because it was a moment in time that brought you together. Well, Comicsgate, a moment in time. Let's hope it wasn't just the first year. Okay, moment in time, lightning strikes, boom, industry lights up. If you guys don't think the rest of the industry is looking at what we're doing right now, you're wrong. The entire industry is looking at this. This is Image Comics, man. This is Image Comics. I am not overstating this. Like I said, 35 years of perspective. I'm not overstating this fact. So what we have right now is we have division in Comicsgate, just like Image. I was there. There was some really, really petty stuff that those guys were doing. Brothers, right? They built this company, Image Comics. Those guys, because of the money and the success and throwing super egos, as soon as they didn't need the other, they went their separate ways, right? They became self-supportive. Maybe that's human nature too. I don't know. But it didn't stop there. They became petty, and they became petty in competitiveness. They became petty in sabotage. They became petty in just trivial insults to each other. It's amazing what happened. I worked at Extreme Studios, and I'm just going to share this story. This is not the Image 7 that this was with, but there was another player involved, and there was Gareb Shamus at Wizard Comics. So Rob's office was right across from my office at Extreme Studios. So, I mean, this is paper thin walls. Everyone knew each other's business. So Gareb comes to hang out. Gareb I remember I was hanging out at Homage Studios early in the day, and Gareb came out and hung out with us in San Diego. So he would come to California time to time and hang out with us. So it wasn't uncommon. So I don't know how the conversation started. Everything was nice. Gareb made the rounds. Hey, Art. Hey, everybody. How you doing? So then, business. I guess him and Rob had some business. So then all of a sudden, I start hearing loud voices yelling between the two. And Gareb is a very soft-spoken guy. Rob can be agitated very easily. He's a bombastic guy. That's just his personality. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that's how he is. And so I I've never heard Gareb raise his voice, but he started raising his voice. So it got pretty heated. And so in a nutshell, what the conversation was who made who. So what these super egos were doing they were trying to take credit for building this movement, which was Image Comics or Wizard Comics or whatever. So what Rob was saying was to Gareb, you'd be nothing if it wasn't for the support of the Image founders, because we were all supporting that magazine when nobody else was. And just to give you guys historical perspective, I remember I met Gareb before the first Wizard book launched, and we had a heart-to-heart, and we connected instantly. He's a great guy. And so he had a prototype of the book and everything, and there were some ads for some T-shirts, what was it? Wolverine T-shirts that I had designed. I drew and inked them. And so we just started talking, and so he told me his pitch. So I think I did the cover to Wizard 13. I did like X-Babes. So I did all kinds of stuff for Wizard, supported them. They did articles. I was in their top 10. They used to have top 10 artists and stuff like that. So I would appear in there, every once in a while. So it was very, very cool. And so what ended up happening is no one else in the industry was really supporting them. So Marvel wasn't really on the page early on, although they kind of reluctantly let us do Marvel characters. But Marvel as a company wasn't really behind Wizard. And DC, I remember I was still working on the Superman books when all this was happening, because I was working at DC and Marvel at the same time. I was working on X-Men at the same time I was working on Superman. So I remember going to Mike Carter, who was my editor on Superman. I told him about this up-and-coming magazine. It was cool. It was great looking. This was going to be the trend. And so Mike was like, no. DC's policy is we don't get involved with the magazine or any kind of enterprise until they've proven themselves, because we don't want to get involved with a fly-by-night company. So if you guys know anything, the time to get involved with the fly-by-night is early on, because then you reap the rewards. Because if you bought stock in I don't know, some tech company or one of these entertainment companies early on, that stock is through the roof. So the time to invest is early on. It's not later. So anyway, you'll notice there were no DC characters in the first year on the cover of Wizard. So anyway, yeah, no Bitcoin. I'm sorry, I can't go there. So I know I'm just kind of trying to give you historical perspective and give you stories along the way as well. So it doesn't seem just so cut and dry. So it seems more personal. So anyways, back to the argument. Those guys are going at it. So Rob's like, we built you. We built Wizard Comics. And then Gareb's like, no, Wizard Comics gave you a platform to advertise your books. We made you. So this is a who made who argument. We did more. You did more, whatever. So these two guys who were friends and had a supportive relationship, right? They got petty and got into a pissing contest with who was more important in the equation. Was it Wizard, or was it the creators that supported Wizard? Did Wizard have a platform that these guys could plug into and then sell their product through? You know what I mean? Like, who's right? Who's wrong? I don't know. Why even get into the argument? Sorry, guys. I had another little hit of my water. So yeah. So you tell me in the chat, why even do this? You're both making a shit ton of money. You guys are both crazy ass successful. What does it matter? Keep the relationship going. Shut your damn mouth and keep it going. Who gives a shit? Why do you think the Rolling Stones are still together? Why do you think some of these bands that hate each other's guts stay together? It's commerce, man. It's commerce. As even Queen, if you look at the bio of Queen, as those four guys, They're stronger as a band than they are independently. And they tried to do independent projects. They did okay, but they didn't do what Queen could do. So together, they sold more books. They sold out arenas. They became iconic. They became massive. They could not have done that. As good as each one of those four players are individually, they're better together. Each one of them, even the bass player contributed songwriting. Another one, what is it? Bites the Dust. One of their biggest songs came from the bass player, who only wrote a handful of songs. Even the Beatles, George Harrison's "Here Comes the Sun," huge, but the guy wasn't contributing the bulk of the album. Maybe one song every album or so, right? So every one of those guys was contributing. Every one of them. Why negate one's creativity? Why negate one over the other? It's the four. It's the group. It's the collective. It's the Three Musketeers. All for one, one for all, man. So this is my cautionary tale. You guys already know wherever all this is going. You guys know what's going on. I'm sure you keep up. And I'm not going to point fingers. I'm not going to say who's right, who's wrong. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. Because you know what? I'm already using potty language. Who gives a shit? Who gives a crap on who said what? Who did what? Who cares? Who cares if this guy's belief is somewhat different than this other guy's belief? Who cares? My gosh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because what you're going to do is you're going to destroy everything. Because okay, I got another story to share with you guys. And this is going to bring it all home. And then I'm going to back off. Okay, so, Image Comics again. Okay. Marvel came to Image Comics. And you'll know this is true, but you might not know this part of it. Marvel came humble to Image Comics creators, right? And they said, we want you to come over and do some of our IPs. Anything you want. You want to do Captain America, you want to do Iron Man, you want to do the Avengers, whatever you want. Fantastic Four, it's your baby. You guys can reimagine it. You can do it. You can, do whatever you want. Red carpet, boom. Okay, so you guys know where this is going. Some of the image creators took Marvel up on it. But what you might not know is behind the scenes, I don't know if Image ever did this. There was a big crossover event that was planned. And it was going to be all 7 main IPs. And maybe, I bet you Black and White, I bet you some of these other, first year books, but, not core, like 7 books would have been in there, like little cameos, things like that, right? Because this was going to be an epic crossover and everybody was going to be involved. All 7 of the main guys and then all the studios as well. So monumental. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was a long time ago, but that it was going to come out that summer. And so, hold on. Man, I'm getting dry mouth. So that summer was going to be the epic crossover event. Could you imagine Pitt? Pitt would have showed up. All those characters. What was it? Hellshock. Jay Lee's book, which was Black and White's competitor, really. And then, like all these books would have, all these characters would have showed up for little cameos and stuff. So you would have Spawn, Youngblood, Wildcat, Cyber Force. You would have had all these books, all this crazy stuff going on, right? So I guarantee you this would have changed the industry. This event, whatever Image had done prior, individually, this would have been monumental. Would have destroyed Marvel and DC. It already was, but this would have destroyed them, right? So I have Hellshock issue 1. Yeah. Jay Lee and I, just a short aside, we shut down one of the New York Comic Cons. I had a Black and White Ashcan, which we were selling on the Black and White Indiegogo. And so I had that, and Jay, I think, had an Ashcan too, because they were through Dynamite. And so we had such a line, the fire marshal had to split us up and move us to different parts of the con because it was, we were breaking the law. There was just too many people. So that's my Hell Shock Jay Lee aside. So anyway, so we have this big crossover event. So then Marvel comes and starts whispering into different people's ears. Hey, man, come on over. Hey, man, come over. Anything you want. It'll be huge. It'll be big. Marvel will be behind it. Blah, 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 right? Event of the summer. And so some of the members hung true, and some of them didn't. This was the beginning of the end of Image Comics. Okay, so Jim went over with Wills and his studio, and they did their Marvel books. Rob did the same. And then I think even Mark did later. He did some crossover stuff. I don't know. I don't think he did any of the Reborn or whatever that was called. I don't think he did, but he did do stuff later with Marvel. And so you have that. So there's the crack. There's the beginning of the end. I don't care how this sounds. I told everybody who would listen to me at the time, don't do this. Don't do this. I said, the reason Marvel came to us is because they're scared. They're scared that we are going to destroy them. We as Image Comics are going to destroy them. So I said, this is the time we buckle down and we put this crossover event out and we destroy Marvel. We annihilate them. It would have, you guys. This was a slam dunk. This was a no-brainer, man. This was not even, oh, maybe it'll work. This was like, it will work. It will work. I mean, those two guys went over to Marvel and it worked. It was a huge event, this Reborn or whatever the hell it was. Okay, so you guys know where this is going. If they would have hung true to what they put together the first year, if they could have remembered what brought them together and what created Image Comics, they never would have done that. I have respect for all of those guys. All of those guys. So I don't want to seem like I'm blasting anybody or pointing fingers. But Todd McFarlane hung true. Todd McFarlane did not waver. He said, absolutely not. So when he said he was breaking away from Marvel, and when he said he was going to create IPs and he was going to be independent, he wasn't messing around. He meant it. And to this day, I believe one of the only reasons Image Comics is still really a viable company and a solid company is because of Todd. Todd did not waver in his beliefs. He did not waver in what their initial mission statement was. He never wavered. Those other guys did. Things were like, hey, here's something shiny. Here's this. They went for it. Their egos could not stop them from taking the bait. So instead of believing in their IPs, instead of believing in their company that they built it, man. They put sweat, blood, time, equity, everything into building this thing. And how amazing it was that they just went, whatever, who cares? And they all went their separate ways. I mean, eventually they all just kind of went their separate ways. Some to varying degrees of success. I have to give Jim Valentino props. I will never, ever say anything bad about him. He gave me my start in the industry. He's a very generous man. He taught me a lot. And he's the one that actually, one part of the mission statement wasn't there in the early days. And that was a creator haven. And what Jim Valentino turned Image Comics into is a creator haven. So there was still an okay process. It still had to be, really, really good. But it became more of indie IPs and less of the 7 guys, because it was already falling apart anyway. They were already going their separate ways. They were attacking each other. They were, Rob's not part of Image Comics anymore. They voted in. They outed him. I think Mark Silvestri at one point was outed. Then they brought Mark back in for the deciding vote to out Rob and all this craziness. Sorry, man, I am really parched. And all this like infighting and insanity. Like, you guys are making millions of dollars a month. Just stay the course, man. Just stay the course. You can think your thoughts. You can tell your inner circle these things. But, man, don't act on them. Don't go after your brother in arms. You guys built this thing together. Don't do this. This is nuts. Okay. So we have a similar situation. We're not selling millions of copies every month. We're not doing Image. But like I said earlier, by today's standards, by the industry standards right now, we're cleaning up. We are cleaning up. These books are selling so well with the support of everybody in this chat and everybody in this community. We could not do it without you guys. So never, I would never, ever diminish your part in this, because the only reason we can do this is because of you. That's the only reason. We can build all we want, but if we don't have the support and we don't have you guys enjoying these books and supporting us, then we have nothing. So there. So you guys kind of know where I'm going with this. Like I said, I don't want to be specific with anything. This is just an overall cautionary tale. I related this to Image Comics. I'm very passionate about this. You guys can see, and I'm sorry I've been neglecting the chat, but yeah, this is nuts. This is nuts. We have to stop this right now. This infighting, this petty ego, this craziness. We all have to realize there's two things here that are different than Image Comics, but Image Comics still did the same thing, with or without, YouTube. They still infought, and it wasn't about anything that was meaningful. It wasn't about anything that was building anything, right? So Comicsgate is a little different. It's not really like we're publishing under a banner. It's not like we created a company that unifies us that way. But even if we did, I think Ethan's vision on this was pretty spot on, where even if we had a comic publishing company where we all published under, it doesn't mean that these things wouldn't happen. They're still happening. They happen to Image Comics. Even if we had a constitution, which I think somebody brought up, a policies and procedures, and something that described what Comicsgate is, like a mission statement, it wouldn't change anything, because then how would you enforce it? Because somebody's still going to break the law. Somebody's still going to do their own thing. So then what? We start watching each other. We start gatekeeping each other. We start penalizing each other. We out each other. No, Comicsgate is free will. You come in, you support each other because you want to. There's nothing else involved. You do it because it makes sense, because it works. I share my platform with anybody who wants to come on. You guys want to come on, and it's a viable project, and your Comicsgate, or at least Comicsgate adjacent, that you still abide by whatever this is. I'll be there. I'll support. I'll show your stuff. I don't mind. John Malin does the same. I believe Edwin does. So that's what this is all about. Because if the bigger guys can help the middle guys, and the middle guys help the lower guys, then everybody can rise up. So the middle guys can be the big guys, and then the small guys can be the middle guys, and then a new group of people come in and start their IPs, and then we all help each other in form of these platforms. You can't pay. This stuff is you can't put a dollar amount to what we're doing for each other. You just can't. This is advertising that none of us could afford. If this was like a real world scenario where we had to put money into advertising and things like that. So yeah, we have that, and I plead to everybody who's either thinking about, hanging out with us, putting out future IP, and people that are already in the movement that have a strong voice in Comicsgate, that we need to just stop, because the division, as much as it might think, oh, well, it's drama because YouTube, it's drama, right? We can get subs, we can get people to come to our channel, and we can do these things. No, don't think about it like that, because ultimately it's destructive. Ultimately, even if it seems like it's for, it's fun, it's going to be destructive in the long run. So I know part of what YouTube does is we kind of we push the envelope, right? We say things, we voice opinions, controversy, right? Controversy sells. But we still have to think about the collective. We still have to think about each other. So before we speak, we have to think about, how's this going to affect other people? Because even though we don't have a publishing company, we don't have anything written down like a contract or anything like that, there's certain things that I will say and I won't say, because I know it will damn my brother that's in Comicsgate. And I don't want my personal beliefs and things like that to damage anybody else's IP, because we do share, and it's guilt by association. So if I say something outlandish, it will reflect on my brothers. It will reflect on the other Comicsgaters, Comicsgate adjacent, whatever. So I could say all this stuff. I have a ton of crap that I could say. I could grow this channel beyond your wildest dreams with the stories and things I know. I could do that, but I'm not going to, because I know in the long run it's going to damage, and dare I say, the brand. It's going to damage it overall, and I don't want to do that, because I do believe in this. I do believe in my brothers, and I think we are better as a collective. We are better as a group than we are separate. I think declaring independence, doing some of those things, I'm not sure that it's the best thing to do. You might feel that way, but I'm not sure it's the best thing. So we really do need to hang tough. If there are people that want to leave, that's fine too, but just leave and just do your own thing. That's fine. We're brothers, but brothers fight. Brothers don't get along. And just a better analogy is friends. Sometimes you're friends with people for a certain portion of your life, and then you look back and you're like, why was I ever friends with that person? And then you go your own way, and then they go their own way, and then that's it. But if you spend time blasting that other person and bringing up the past, it's just going to be hurt feelings. And trust me in this. I'm old enough to know this. Just by talking about this stuff and bringing it up is damaging. The only way it goes away is if it goes away. The only way healing can happen, and the only way you can go in your own direction in a positive way, is just to shut your trap and go on. And just go on, and then do what you want to do, what you believe in, the direction you want to go in. Nobody holds that against anybody. I don't hold that against anybody. If they want to go in their own direction and they don't want to be part of this group anymore, that's fine. We're still better as a collective, but if they want to do that, that's fine. But don't do it in a damaging way. Just go and do your own thing. No harm, no foul, right? I don't think anybody is going to hold that against you. I'm friends with these guys. I've been friends with them before Comicsgate. There's a lot of new friends I've met. John Malin is my gosh, I think he's one of the coolest people I've met in a long, long time, because I don't think he sees those divisions. I don't think he's very protective of Comicsgate, rightly so, but I don't think he sees those divisions. I think he just goes wherever, and that's he's my template. I want to go wherever. I'm friends with all these guys. I'll associate with Doug. I'll associate with Mike, with Ethan, with John, with Cecil, with everybody. They're all my friends. I don't see any division there. Somebody starts blasting me, stuff like that. Well, that's a different story. But as long as there's nobody saying anything, there's no damage, there's no bad mouthing, then everything's fine. I don't have a problem. I do not have a problem with anybody. So that's kind of my cautionary tale. I know it's been a long time. I hope you guys got something out of it. I hope towards the end there, I was being a little cryptic, but I really don't want to get into specifics, because once again, specifics are damaging. If I start going tit for tat, this, that, and the other thing, trust me, they only end in arguments. So as soon as you start finger pointing, it's done. The next guy will double down, and then you'll double down, and then before you get, you're in a pissing contest. It always goes that way. If you're a wise person, you always understand that no good can come from that. You have to grin and bear it, man. You have to just go, it is what it is. I can't change this person. I can't change the movement. I don't want to change Comicsgate. I want it to organically grow. I think that was kind of Ethan's view on it too. It will be what it's going to be. But in a nutshell, it's IPs that we know and love that are individual creators' vision. These aren't mainstream Marvel, DC, or anything else. These are uniquely our vision books that we hang out under an Aegeus, Comicsgate, or a brand, and that we share our platforms as far as in a way to advertise the brand and each other's IPs. That's it. Those three are the core idea. And that simplistic, what do you call it? Ingredients is all you need, man. In its purest form, it's success. It's success. And it can grow. It can grow the way it is. New people can come in. People can leave. All those things. Oh, I haven't seen this in a while. I don't know. Is it FRT? I think to do this right, the F has to be bigger than the ART. So I'm not being overly critical here, but I think it needs to be F big and then art small. So there you go. But yeah, there's that, and then the old people joke. But thanks for the old Comicsgate insults. You did great. Solid points. Thank you, Darth Crusader. I appreciate it. Like I said, I just feel very strongly. I don't want this thing to fall apart. I left the mainstream. You guys, I wasn't ostracized by the industry. I wasn't in a place where I couldn't find work. I chose to do this. I was at the top of the DC food chain for an inker at DC Comics, as far as page rate and as far as the books I was working on. I had just finished a run on Action Comics, and I took that all the way up to issue 1000, and I was working on Super Sons. These were both top DC books. So I left there at the top, and I left there to do Black and White, and I left there to be part of Comicsgate, and I left there so I could do more IPs like Chrono Mechanics. So that was a choice. That wasn't like I didn't have any options. So there's a difference there. And I just want to let you guys know that I chose this. I wanted to come here. I wanted to be part of this. This wasn't a second thought. This wasn't this wasn't an act of desperation. This was a place I really wanted to be. This is where my heart was. This is where I wanted to be. And I took a lot of shit for it. And there are people that I have an uneasy friendship that I've known for a long, long time. But because we're all cool, we're still friends. And time will tell. That's why you try not to make too abrupt movements, or you try not to respond in kind quickly, because time heals all wounds. And I do believe that, historically speaking, if we don't self-destruct, this will be historical. Yes. Ooh, I like this. Art is life. I am life. Hey, Sierra. It's been a while, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah. Vaguely isn't exactly helpful either. Oh, vagary. Yeah, I don't know. If we don't agree, I think we should just go our separate ways. It's like when you're in a bad relationship and you think, oh, I can fix this person, I can change them, I can whatever, I can make it work. No, you can't. The best thing to do sometimes is just go. And so if there's somebody that doesn't really agree, then that's what they should do. And then just not say anything. Give this man a thumbs up. Yes, Daniel C. Thank you. Thumb me up. Yes, and spread the word. I'm going to try to cleanse the palate here. I have an opportunity to pontificate here, or to elucidate, to give details. Okay, Black and White is at the printers. There was a week holiday where China just takes off for a week, so it was a week delayed. There's also there's a lot of shenanigans with this publishing company, and if the book comes out really exceptionally well, I will not blast them. If it comes out bad and there's any more hanky panky, I may just blast them, because a lot of other top tier artists use these guys. So I'm not going to say any names right now, but yeah, there's a lot of back and forth shenanigans, but it is being printed right now, and we have confirmation it will be here in November. The books will be at Hack Shack Studio in November, and fulfillment will start immediately. So I apologize for all the delays. At first I was thinking remastered. I gave a deadline. I was just going to clean up the inks and put out the original book. But ambition being what it is, I started adding more pages. And then as I was adding the pages, I was realizing ways that I could enhance the other pages, the existing pages. So I pretty much ended up redrawing the entire 54-page book, pretty much. Between the enhancements and the redrawing. So I believe it's a better book than you would have got normally. So the initial book, it became a way better book as far as writing, drawing, coloring, everything. But it took more time. So I do apologize. But at this point in my life, I don't want to put out crap, and I don't want to compromise. So if I'm going to compromise, I'll go back to the treadmill. I'll work with a gun to my head, meaning deadlines, intense deadlines, and I'll put things out under duress. I always tried my best, but time being what it is, sometimes you can't do things, for the big two the way you would want to do them. So with Black and White, I was able to do that. And for the first time in my career, I did take time on a project. 35 years, I indulged in this project, and I am sorry for that. I did take more time than what should have taken, but at the same time, I was wearing many hats. I was learning a lot of new trades, and I was trying to figure out, new stuff. And so it did take longer than I wanted, and I do appreciate all your patience on it, and I will make good on it. The book will come out, and it will look amazing. So thank you so much, for bringing that up, Gonzo. Any chance to talk about Black and White? And if you're coming in late, I'm going to show you something cool. So I'm going to hit my camera. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. These are it. So we just got these in, and is it dark? Is it dark? Let me turn this on. There's a little bit. Okay. So I turn on some of the lights. So these are the trading cards. These are the stretch goal, black and white stretch goal trading cards. So they came out awesome. We have like 1,500 of these for you guys. So we have this box. We have this box full of cards. So all the stretch goals are printed and done. The Ashcan is what I want to show you guys. Okay, so let me stop camera. I had some other things that Pamela found that are going to be fun, and it seems like everybody in chat is having a good time. So I'll reward your patience with some fun stuff. So she found in the T-Bear archive, she found some fun stuff I'll share with you guys. But we're on black and white right now, so I screen share. I go here, I go here, I go here, and I go here. So this is not part of the black and white campaign, and I'm not really sure what Dynamite is going to do with this, but this is the finished Vampirilla black and white crossover cover. So Nick Barucci was kind enough to ask if I wanted to do a variant cover for Vampirilla and use black and white characters in with it, similar to like what Ethan did with Cyberfrog, and I believe Billy Tucci did with his character She, that they did like crossovers with, you know, the Dynamite IP, which is Vampirilla. So the reason I like Photoshop, you guys, sharing, is I can blow these images up that if I use the camera, I can't. So that's why I'm doing it this way. And the resolution's way better. So there's Reed Blackett, AKA Black. Let me go. This is even bigger than the original. So there he is in all his glory. There's his blaster down there. So then we have Whitney, AKA White. She's there with her weapon of choice, the staff. And both the staff and the gun are basically they're using the villain's power against them. So I always like stories like that. But you'll just have to read the book and find out. And then there's the iconic Vampirilla, who in all her glory is here. And yeah, her attributes are there, obviously. So there she is, straddling not a headstone this time, but a beat to shit skeleton robot. So a skeletal robot is just something I wanted to do, because black and white, they fight robots. Reed is MI10, or was MI10. He's retired now. Secret Service agent, and the MI10 specialized in robot ops, so covert ops. He's well versed in psychology of robots and illegal AI and all those things. So I thought it would be very fitting for a team up with Vampirilla to battle and beat the crap out of a bunch of robots. So these are giant skeleton robots. So yes, those are skulls, you guys. And I don't know, I love doing this atmospheric stuff. And the colorist that I'm going to work with, I don't have them yet. So maybe in suggestions in the chat. So I do these fingerprint kind of like mist effects. So I go in there and I dab. So it's mostly to key in to or for the colorist. So the colorist will do mist effects, and there's some mist coming up or smoke from the devastation of the robots. So you can kind of see that coming up around. That's why, you know, around the nose and stuff, it's dissipated. And also Reed's leg by Vampirilla's rib cage is hatched. So that'll have color of his leg in here. So you'll see that there is some structure there, and then it will fade out because of the mist. So there's that. There's the whole cover there. Well, one more. There's the whole cover, and it'll have the logo across the top and all that stuff. So let me see what else black and white related. Oh, you guys. Oh my gosh. This is where my competitive nature is good. I always try to compete with myself. I always try to up my own game, but sometimes, outside pressure gives you an insight on what to do. So I heard Ethan and maybe some other people talking about enhancements to their sketchbook and their Ashcans. So you guys, I know I've showed the black and white version of the Ashcan cover, and that's what I was going to do. So if you guys have been paying attention, you'll know that I've previewed the Ashcan cover. So what this is it's based on the original 1994 cover. So I went in and I remastered, pretty much redrew a lot of the elements in it. And so then Pamela, my wife, went to the printer and we had a mock-up made of the Ashcan. And then I was like, yeah, I think the other guys are doing some kick butt Ashcans. So I was like, what can we do to make this cooler? So anybody who bought the 94 Ashcan is going to get a heavy stock cover, which was not part of the equation. It was just going to be an Ashcan, just kind of like a traditional Ashcan with the kind of gritty paper and just the black and white format. And the cover is a little thicker stock, but not that much. So water. Thank you. Sorry about that. So yeah, so I was like, how can we do this? So my wife and I powwowed, and we have these Ashcan, or I had these Ashcans, these Adam Hughes Ashcans, and every year he kind of upgrades them. And so there's a heavy stock cardboard cover that he's using now, and they're color covers, even though the interiors are black and white still, but the cover is color. So what I was thinking is, let's up the cover stock and make it thicker like the Adam Hughes Ashcans. And then just as a humbug, I messaged Perea, who's the colorist on black and white. He's brilliant. He is brilliant. And so I just said, could you color this up real quick? And so he gave me a thumbs up, and I sent him the file. And in the morning, I had this beautiful cover. So I put in all the text and stuff so I could show you the actual cover. So you can see the wonderful coloring. And I wanted to show you this. So this is a little nod. Let me make it bigger, to the original artwork. So the Ashcan, or the original book, came out in '94. And so then this upgrade, or the redraw, the remastering, is 19. So it's this year. And so I kept the original way I signed my name. So I didn't do the new signature. I left the original 1994 signature there. So it's kind of a homage to the original cover. So I'm so glad I did this. One of the things is I didn't really have a cover in mind when I first had this idea. And so this just kind of came, and it was spontaneous, and I am so proud of this thing. This cover looks amazing. Yeah, so if you're a fan of the '94 book, you'll know what this is, and it's a cool tribute to it, and it's going to make a great Ashcan cover. So this is at the printers right now. So we sent them the files. We have an okay on the cover stock, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we also upgraded the paper stock to it might be semi-gloss now. It was like a flat, just normal paper stock before, because I have a prototype. I think I showed it on one of the streams. So there's that, and so I need to promote the upcoming book, which we were going to launch yesterday, but we still don't have the go-ahead from Indiegogo yet. So we're waiting for them to green light the project. The whole campaign is all structured. The page is done. All the artwork is done. And so I just wanted to, and I'm going to be showing you guys stuff for the next week or so. I'm going to be letting you see what's going on and give you insight on the campaign before we launch. But it's probably going to launch Wednesday, Thursday of next week, if not sooner. It depends on when we get the green light. But that's what my wife and I, Pamela, are kind of gearing up for. So Wednesday or Thursday of next week. So one thing that we have is we have the actual book, which is a 48-page graphic novel. The story is written for a 60-page. So I want to do it in form of stretch goals that we can build this book together. But the way it's budgeted now and everything, it's 48 pages. So with stretch goals, things like that, we can enhance. So what I want to do with the book itself is I want to build this with your help. So I want to add pages, and then I want to, because right now it's just going to be saddle stitch stapled. But just like with black and white, I want to do it like the box fold, the spine where it's boxed. It's got an edge to it, and it's got a spine to it where you can write the name of the book and put it up on your bookshelf. So I want to upgrade it like that. I want to upgrade the paper on it. And there's one thing I really, really want to do. It's a higher stretch goal, but I really believe in my heart of hearts we can get there, because I want this book just to rock, and I want it to be a one of a kind, because I'm starting to learn that these Indiegogo, we don't have to make Marvel DC books. We can make unique books that are just for the Indiegogo crowd. And I learned this from Doug. Doug makes very customized books, and also Kyung Lee and I talked about making them more like Indiegogo, like specific, like where they are very original books just for the campaign. Not thinking about the mass market or anything like that. And this is a new mindset. This was not here a year ago when I launched, when we all launched our books. This is a fairly recent, because these things are organic and they evolve. And so that's what this is. So this is going to be a crazy interactive campaign. I'm going to be very, very generous on this, not just with the enhancements to get there with your help, but also every one of the tiers comes with a trading card, and it's not the same trading card. Each one of the tiers comes with its own unique trading card that coincides the concept of the book. So there's going to be 10 trading cards. The set's going to have 10 trading cards, and they all relate to the Indiegogo campaign and the books that you back, the tiers that you back. So this is a sketchbook work in progress. So I have a ton of behind the scenes stuff for Chrono Mechanics that I've accumulated over the years. And I'm probably going to do this with black and white, because I have 25 years of doodles and drawings for black and white. So I'm probably going to do a sketchbook for Black and White Volume 2 campaign. But this is, I thought this would work for a work in progress. This is an old piece I did just to do it with like a blueprint idea. And so Taylor and I kind of upgraded it a little bit for the Chrono Mechanics website, because that's the only time it ever saw the light of day. So this is going to be the cover of the work in progress sketchbook. And what else is going to be unique, because I don't have to worry about putting this on the newsstand, it's going to open up. It's going to be like wide screen format. So the book is going to be not tall. It's going to be like you see it. It's going to be horizontal. So you're going to read it kind of like a concept book, where you're going to open it up, up to down, I guess. So you're going to read, like, the first page will be on the top and the second page will be underneath that. Instead of left to right, it's going to be up and down. So I thought the format would be cool. And since these are, unique one of a kind books, why not play with the format? So this is the cover for that. So I thought I would share that with you. And then This is a page I originally planned. I was going to kind of do some of my digital tweaks with it, but this is this will give you an idea of kind of actually I wish I would have kept this in layers because then you could see. But I did a layout for this, and then I sent the layout to Render Contender, and then Render Contender came up with a rough of this. So this isn't exactly what I got back from him. So then once again, the creative process being what it did, I changed the layout slightly and the balloon sizes and placements. And I made the middle panel, this is the elucidator's entrance. So it was a small panel. So I made it bigger of him. Basically, he's coming out of the screen here. He's a computer program for Chrono Incorporated. So all time and everything is all logged into this giant computer at Chrono Inc. And so it's basically a big computer storage unit or storage file for storage files. And but Chrono Incorporated, they probably regret making this decision. The Elucidator program, they gave it a holographic, I guess, program as well, to where it could actually interact with people. So it can be just a computer program that you can interface with through your computer, or you could talk to it on a screen like Skippy is here, or he can be more of a physical entity as far as a walking, talking hologram. And so the funny aspect to this is he likes to think of himself as human. So he tries to connect with people in weird, awkward ways because he's not human. So this page is basically just their daily routine. Skippy is the personal assistant to the foreman, so he does a lot of the groundwork and the heavy lifting for the foreman, just the day-to-day stuff. And so he's just kind of interfacing with the Eugene program at this point. And so then a problem comes out in this first panel. And so then, Skippy in the second panel is like, oh my. So Eugene can see he's a little nervous. There's a problem. And so then Eugene, to comfort him as a human would, he comes out of the screen and then starts trying to talk to him more as a human would. And so they try to come up with a solution. They really can't. And they realize this is above their pay grade. And so then they decide that they need to get the foreman involved. So the last panel is like, the foreman, like, they don't want to do that because then they know the foreman's going to overact or overreact to the problem, and they know he's got a heart condition, so they don't want him to have a heart attack. So you can obviously tell this is a broad humor comic, action adventure. The way I pitch it, the quick pitch is H.G. Wells meets the Looney Tunes. So it's got time travel involved with it, but it's also very, very funny in a broad humor sense. So there's that. You know what? I think I'm going to, well, you know what? I'm going to go back. I'm going to keep my promise. And I'm going to go to the screen, and I'm just going to try to wrap this up with some fun stuff. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Render. Hey brother, I just showed off your page, man. So you can see we were going to get together this weekend, so I just showed it off. So now you know the tweaks that I put onto it. And I was going to, time being what it is, I probably don't have the time to, but I was going to do a live stream where I start working on that live, so you guys can see me bring the wonderful Render's layouts or his breakdowns together. So Render, don't forget to get on you. Oh yeah. Okay. Here we go. Self plug. So thank you very much for bringing this up, Render Contender. And yeah, take his advice. And I have this as a plug. And you know what? I think I can put a, you know what? Render, let me see if I can do this. I can make you a mod, a schmoderator. Let me see if I can do that. So we got render here. How do I do this? Private chat? Do I send you through private chat? How do I do that? Show. Here's a comment settings. Guest can see comments. No. You know, I'll figure this out later. There's a private chat. This isn't YouTube. On YouTube, I know how to do it. I'm not sure how to do it here. How to make a mod, but we'll talk about that. We're going to hang out this weekend. I think tomorrow, Renner and I are going to hang out. We'll probably do a show. But yeah, let me put a link in. That's where I was going to go. So here is the Chrono Mechanics pre-launch sign-up page. It's up now. So if you click on that, the post I just put in the chat, or the link I just put in the chat, you can go there and sign up. And you guys, oh my gosh, we are going to be so generous with you guys. All the pre-launch signups, which we have a lot now, you guys. We have a lot. We are going to give some killer stuff away to you guys. My wife and I talked about it. And so I think we still have to figure out, it's going to be in the form of, we'll contact you, and then actually, you know what? I don't know the details of it. We were either going to do it as there's like a hidden tier thing that you can do, or in a way that if you contact us directly, then we can put in the extras that we were going to put in, because we can't really make it a tier per se, because then everybody would have access to it. So we have to make it exclusive. So we're still working out how to get it to you, but what we're giving to you is exceptionally cool. So if you guys are so inclined, please go sign up. The more we have there, the more eyes we can get on the first day when we go live. So that's the idea there. Why is the computer on fire? The computer wasn't on fire. Are you talking about the page? Why is the computer on fire? I don't know what you're talking about. My computer's not on fire. Wait a minute. It is. No, I'm just kidding. My work was evaluated because... Oh, it's Render talking. Oh, man. It wasn't evaluated. It was evacuated. Ooh. Well, I hope everything's okay, and I hope everybody's all right, Render. I hope you get it with pay. That's one thing about Freelancer. You don't get anything. You don't get anything the other way. Oh, wait. We're getting into Chrono territory here. Sierra Whiskey, a render contender. I'll pick up Chrono. Can't wait to see what you do with it, man. Well, he's going to kick butt is what he's going to do with it. I've already teased one of the pages that all three of us worked on. So I did the layout. Render did the breakdowns. I did the Chrono ink on it. And then we got Narwhal to do the color on it, and the page looks amazing. The triple threat is going to make comic history here. So I really do appreciate Render coming in and helping out with this project, because I don't think we could do it in the timely fashion and the deadline that I have in mind without his help. So sweet. I was joking. Joking. It was a joke. Let's see what this says. Okay, tinfoil hat. Nick, make it a secret perk on Indiegogo. Then it will let you send out links. That's what I'm thinking at this point. But my wife and I are Boomer City, man. So what I'm hoping is maybe Render can help us out tomorrow or whenever we get together and figure out how to do that, because there's the featured item that we're still having problems with, and there's the hidden tier. And so we did that with Black and White, but Taylor was helping out on that, and she's way more computer savvy than I am. So there's that. Ooh. Thank you so much, Gary. I do appreciate you hanging out for the whole thing. So I just had to get all that off my chest. My chest is now chestless. Black and White X Chrono Mechanics. Ooh, like a crossover maybe? Is that what we're talking about? That would be weird, man. That would be weird. We would have to alter the reality to such an extent that Black and White would be able to fit into the Chrono universe. Otherwise, I mean, either way, it's like the fish out of water story. So you could have cartoon characters hanging out in the real world, kind of, was it Cool World or Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Or it could be the opposite, where Black and White are walking around in a cartoon universe. That would be fun. Maybe. See, that's the thing about these IPs. The way we're doing business here, it's all good, man. It's the sky's the limit. As long as the support is there, and the support is you guys. So, and as long as we keep giving you product, that's the main thing. Give you product that you like. So let's do this. So I have my camera. Let's hope that it's still good. Ooh, that looks good. I hope that looks good. This was a drawn and quartered leftover from Halloween, I guess a year ago. So I've held on to this thing. I didn't even sign it on the show because pencils up. You can't do anything more to it. So I don't know what to do with this. But it's here. I just thought I'd show it off because, like I said, my wife was going through a bunch of the T-Bear vault, and she found some stuff. And also, she found this stuff. Let me see. This stuff is really cool. Is there anything else in this envelope? No. Okay, these are just Xeroxes. These are just copies. This was a trading card I did for Fathom. Is that her name? There's a trading card set for Top Cow, I think, at the time, before Aspen. So Michael Turner asked me to do that. Oh, Carlo Barberi gave me this to ink. I never inked it because it's so beautiful. Why would I ink this thing? It doesn't make any sense. This was before we started working on Super Sons, though. So that's pretty darn cool. So, oh my gosh. I didn't see this in the pile. You guys, this is when TV Guide was awesome and ruled the world. It was an actual magazine. It was digest size. And so early, Marvel did a lot of promotional stuff for like the first X-Men movie and for Spider-Man. So I did a Spider-Man cover, a TV Guide cover. I did. Oh, I should show that off on one of these streams. It's really cool that Mark Bagley and I did. And I think they all connected. So then Johnny Romita Jr. did one. And then, was it just 3? And I think they got Alex Ross to do one. And I believe all the backgrounds connect. So you talk about different realities, like all the backgrounds connect, but each one of the images is drawn by a different person. So that was really cool. So Marvel used to do some cool promotion with TV Guide. So this went into every household. It was an 8-page X-Men story. And I believe it was written by Chris Claremont. I believe. Either that or Scott Lobdell. I don't remember at this point. So it's just a little 8-page story. And Salvador LaRocca did the pencils. Pretty much breakdowns, man. That guy's pencils are practically non-existent. Ooh. Okay, this is a quick story. All right. I've never told the Marvel story, and I'm not going to tell it here, but just know that Danny Mickey was not the first choice for the Avengers Dave Finch run with Bendis. It was me. So Dave Finch and I were good friends. We were really, really good friends. So I'm not sure what this was for, but I think this was early promotion or a Wizard cover or something for the new Avengers run that we were going to do together. So that thing came out pretty cool. And so, oh, shoot. These are my pencils. So these are my pencils on a Flash story I did. Does it have a date on it? No. So I did a story. So this is Deathstroke, like old school, like George Perez Deathstroke. Here, let me get it closer. So these are my crazy pencils, bad Xerox. And let me see what else. So there's Deathstroke making some kind of deal with Impulse. Is that Impulse? No, not Impulse. Who's the bad guy that's like Impulse? I forget his name now. It's been a while. So look at that face. Look at that face. Okay, so then is this Wally? Was it Wally West that was the Flash at this time? So he's moving into a new apartment. And no, Bart stuff. No, so this is Impulse, right? Bart is Impulse. So he's there, and there's a girl next door that he sees, and they start flirting. He can't use the key because his hands are full, so she helps him. And so they come in, and so they have a moment. They have a moment. Oh, young love. So these are pencils for, wow, I haven't seen these things in years. For a cover, a Flash cover. So it's got Jay Garrick. And one of my favorite villains is Vandal Savage. He's an immortal, time travel. Heads up. I love time travel. So this is a Flash cover. And this is more of that Flash story, I think. Yes. So this is that Jay Garrick? I think that's Jay Garrick and his wife. Is it Garrett or Garrett? Garrett, I think. So, okay, that's that. Here's pencils for a Hawkman story I did way. I think I talked about this, and it's the best inks I think I've ever had other than Danny Mickey and some of the studio guys that I worked with at Hack Shack Studios inking me. But this is Walden Wong. So Walden Wong inked these Hawkman pages. And it was cool because I always liked the Hawkman Atom connection. Because when I was a kid, there was actually a book called Hawkman Atom or Atom Hawkman. And it wasn't Brave and Bold. It was actually a title. And so this was that. And I got to do... I know it probably isn't, it probably can't happen. I don't know really how atoms work, but you know, when he jumps into the phone line and then zaps across the phone line, I don't know how they do that now with cell phones, probably bop into a cell tower. But that was, I guess, some pages from the Hawkman story. This was a Wizard cover that, ooh, and I have pencils. Let me show the pencils first. So like I said, Dave and I were pretty inseparable in the day. We did a lot of conventions together too. Friendly competition when we would draw at the shows. We did a New York show together, and we just started off doing really basic profile headshots. In the day, used to give them away for free. And then by the end of the show, we were doing full figures for everybody because we were just kind of competing against each other and trying to up our game. We did a ton of drawings, man, but it was a lot of fun. So there's the pencils. Here's the inks. I must say, with the inks, it looks so much better. So let me kind of move it forward a little bit. I'm a big fan of Ben Grimm. So there's this. There's Black Widow, Luke Cage. So you can kind of see the modern Marvel Universe Avengers starting to happen there. And this, I lost my mind because I forgot I had this. So I was just talking to Dave Finch one day about like just doodling, just like mindlessly drawing and, you know, just whatever is in your head. And so he goes, I do that all the time. I think because he did it on the side of one of the pages. So we got into conversation. Like I said, we were pretty tight when we were working together until he threw me under the bus at Marvel. But anyway, that is a tale for another day. So, yeah, so he would, he would send me these things. He'd just send me his doodles because he's like, I don't know what to do with them. And so some of this is on Marvel board, but I think some of it's on old Image board too. So there's that. And so what character is this? This is on Marvel board. So this looks like maybe it's an alternate version of Psylocke, maybe. Yeah, I don't think Marvel would ever do that. But she's got the X on her. So these might have been, because we were working on the Ultimate X-Men at the time. So these look like they might have been alternate versions of her. And I think we needed to do a patch of something. So I did a patch on the back. I don't know why. It was probably the only paper I had available. So we had to do a patch. So you got to see a little patch. I think this stuff dates back to Image. Let me see. No, it says Marvel too. So this looks like a Wolverine doodle for an idea. I'm not. Oh, you know what? Wow, this is an idea for the cover, a Wolverine cover. It was for the Ultimates. I recognize the idea now. So he's got the cityscape back here. So he says basically Magnolia style skyline, meaning pretty much all silhouette, and a nice ornate building front. Yeah, so I don't know. He might have scanned this and sent it to Marvel, or this might have just been for himself. But usually you don't write notes like this unless it's to the editor. Unless you're very forgetful like myself. So this is cool. So this looks like it's just a doodle. So very, very cool. So Mark Bagley in the day too used to help me out a lot, and it was in the day of faxes. So I would send him something, like if there was a drawing I was having trouble with, and I'd fax it to him, and then he would draw over that, and then he'd fax it back to me. So I have a bunch of Mark Bagley drawings over my drawings. So Mark Bagley is a grump. He's a lot of things, but you know what? At the time, he was a really good friend, and he helped me out quite a bit. I don't have a huge ego with stuff, so I always ask like other artists if they're willing to help me out. They do. And at one point, Greg Capullo helped me out a lot in the black and white days. And so I would help him out with inks as well. So those were the days of fax machines too. And so we'd fax back and forth. So this looks like it's the Hulk. And there's a character in between the two Hulks. So I don't know who that character is. But look at this. Like, the way he just goes into the structure and starts putting things down. I asked him, I was like, what are your influences? I already knew that one of the big ones was Kevin Nolan. And then he said big time Kevin Nolan over Dan Jurgens on the Superman Aliens graphic novel series. And I was like, yes. And that's why he and I got along so well, because that is a major part of comic book history. And Kevin Nolan is one of my biggest influences. I love his work. So it's kind of like Nolan meets Bisley. So it's kind of like a Nolan meets Bisley style. So if you had to probably distill Dave Finch's style down, it's probably those two guys. So, this is personalized art. I have 2 other pages that need stats. I'll send them tomorrow for Saturday. I'll desperately try to get the last page to you by then too. But I think it'll have to be Monday, Dave. Okay, so this was a note not about sending me these cool things. It was just like a note to for the next batch of pages. So there's this on the back. So he's a mad doodler. The dude's a mad doodler. And so, yeah, he would send me these. I got a bunch of these things. So this is just some of them. Oh, this is on image paper. You can tell the thickness. So I don't know if these were character designs for a crossover he was doing, or a book he was doing, I mean. But pretty killer. So this is old school Dave Finch when he was at Image Comics. Look at how freaking amazing this is. He sent me the pencils for that Wolverine cover too that I was showing earlier. He sent me those pencils. He just gave them to me. He's a very generous guy. Like I said, he was a great guy all the way till he wasn't a great guy. So I don't know where our friendship is at this point, but it's one of those things. You go your own way, right? You don't say anything bad. You just go your own way. And till we meet again. So I never say never either, because I usually end up working with the same people at some point. So I try not to burn any bridges with anybody. So let's see what this note says. This is what I'm thinking. Let me know how far off it is. So he was probably sending this to an editor or something. I think Top Cow was self-contained, so he probably just dropped this on the editor's desk. So I'm not sure what this was for. Maybe that was for Mark Silvestri. Not sure. So I'm going to leave the rest for you guys, but I'm going to tease you with this. I collect animation, and I think I showed you and told on one of the live streams that I have a bunch of drawings from Akira, the legendary anime feature, which that thing blew my mind at the time. It just frickin', oh my God, I can't even put into words how much that movie blew my mind. So I met an art dealer that had a bunch of this stuff. And this was when, in the 90s, when there was crazy money to be had. And I bought everything he had. I bought everything. So I have a bunch of these drawings, and I'm not sure what this is for exactly, but it looks like an early, not a concept per se, but trying to tighten it up for animation. I'm not sure if this was used as far as animation, because sometimes they'll sketch things and put ideas down on the same paper, because this is usually a sign that it's animated. But sometimes, animators don't have spare paper, so they'll just draw on the paper that they have there. So I'm not sure what this was for, but you can see there's some bleed through. So he was drawing over, or he drew something over this one. So the marker bled through to this drawing. So I'm not sure what that was for. Oh no, now I feel like I need to share more. Oh, I'll share this. So this was years ago. I was talking to Doug TenNapel, or TenNapel, at a San Diego Comic-Con, because there was a time when we were con buddies at the show, and I was telling him my daughter loves Cat Scratch. She loves it. And so he goes, "Oh, okay, what's her name?" And so he signed it for Amanda. So she was just a little snot at the time. So he gave me this, one of the characters. So it was very, very cool. So these are the perks sometimes of working in the business and having friends and not burning bridges. So, so very, very cool. So I should probably sign off. My last plug will be this. So check out the Chrono Mechanics Indiegogo pre-launch page. It's up now, and it's only going to be up for a couple more days, you guys. So if you want to get those very generous extras, I want to tell you now, but I want it to be a surprise when you get the update notice. And I'm not sure if it's going to come in the form of a mystery tier, because like I said, I'm not sure how to do that, or where you just get a notice on your email, whatever address you sent to me, I'll send. But either way, you'll get those with every purchase of any tier. You're going to get all those cool upgrades. It's not an upgrade, like just freebies, I guess. They're just going to be freebies. And so one of the big aspects of the campaign are going to be trading cards. So there's going to be a trading card with each tier that's offered. So I think at this point there's a total of 10 trading cards. But as stretch goals, I was thinking we can keep it going as far as you want. So we can build a killer Chrono Mechanics trading card set too. But at this point, it's 10 cards. So let's go. I'll just keep that up so you guys can see it. I'm going to go back a little bit in the chat. Do you guys want to keep seeing this, or do you want to? I'll leave you with this one. Yeah, baby. Yeah. So let me go back in the chat a little bit, and then I will bid you adieu. Adieu. We got a lot of new faces in here. This is cool. Yeah, Psylocke. So, hey, Mark. We got Arthur Brown, the Uncanny Kodiak, Kevin Sharp. Oh, so you guys are talking back and forth. With inks was better. Yes. My inks over Dave Finch. Art is the old. What is this? Will this take the place of that? Yeah. So Mark says art is the old. Art is so old. Literally lives in a comic museum. I like that. I prefer it as the T-Bear Vault, though, or Archives. So there. So there. Barry Allen Flash. Okay, so we're back into when I'm showing the Xeroxes. Wow, cool. Life don't make sense. Rad. Nice. You guys are very cool, very supportive. Oh, thank you, Arthur Brown, for putting a link for the Chrono Mechanics, which, you know what? I'll put another one in so you guys don't have to go back so far. Paste. Boom. Did it go up? Did it go up? Did it go up? Let me see. Let me see. Wow. Show. Yes, it's there. So yeah, that's the link for the pre-launch page. I'm so stoked for the launch. Yeah, it's been a monumental upclimb. So Pixel had a set of trading cards too. I haven't talked to you in a while, dude. Gotta find out what's going on there. So we all keep bopping in and out of this crazy world of comics. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Why, post it, Art. Post it. You're a gentleman and a scholar. RT Bear, great live stream. Thank you so much, man. I always hesitate sharing too much, but I try to keep them as fair as possible as far as things, and try to be as positive as I can be. And just to try to, like I said, cautionary tale, baby. Cautionary tale. Let's just not go that way. Completely agree, Steve. What does Steve say? What did Steve say? Where is Steve? Sierra Whiskey says, I totally agree. Excellent stream. Oh, I must have just posted that up. I don't. Also, one thing, old age, I forget everything. It could just have happened, but I'll forget it. Absolutely blown away. Ooh, did I keep it up, Art? Thank you. Mustard Tiger 5. You guys are awesome with your names. All right, man. Well, I'm getting hungry. I just realized I have not eaten lunch. So that's cool. And you know what? I'm gonna tease this for another stream. You guys, this right here is full of animation stuff. Like I said, I bought a ton of stuff. So I even have Dragon Ball Z stuff, Bubblegum Crisis in here. I have all kinds of like pencil drawings from different anime. More the action adventure stuff. I don't really like the soap opera stuff, but I like the more sci-fi stuff. So yeah, I'll share that with you guys down the line. And oh gosh, you guys, I had so much prepared. I'm gonna do this as my party shot because it's a cool thing to do. But you know what? I'm gonna do this first. We're gonna go grab something to eat because I'm starving. My wife just got in. I have to. You can say hi.
Hello.
I was waiting for you to say something.
Well, no, I didn't want to interrupt.
So, were you at the printers? Were we doing more print stuff?
Huh.
Oh.
I was at the grocery store.
Oh, okay. Tell them while I'm looking to how to do this. Tell them how cool this looks.
Oh my golly, it's awesome.
Tell them what it is.
It's the black and white trading card.
Yes.
It's slick. It's shiny.
It's slick and shiny. You can just put it down. I don't need it. I was going to do this. Let's hope this works. Okay. So Ethan always does so much for me in the community. I thought I would look at these, Pamela. This is the black and white version of the Cyberfrog covers. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Cyberfrog Blood Honey. This is his active campaign. It's going right now. It's still live. So go there, check it out. If you want a cool black and white version of Cyberfrog Blood Honey, this is the place to go. Ooh, what is this? Uncut sheet of promo cards. Oh, you guys, these are so cool. Only $50. These are so cool. In the T-Bear archives, Pamela, don't we have?
Yes, we do.
Of what character?
Black and white.
And Superman.
Oh, that's right.
Remember the Superman Death of Superman trading card set?
I had forgotten that one.
Yeah, and this is 3 cards, you guys. That one is all the cards in the set. It's like the biggest poster you've ever seen on trading card stock. So the fronts and backs are printed, which I imagine that's what this is too. The fronts and backs are printed. So this is before they cut and separate all the cards. So that's pretty cool. That is a crazy collector's item. Only 16 claimed. And $50, you guys, that's not a bad price for a one-of-a-kind collector's item like that. You want all 3? You got it. $75, baby. And so, a proof copy. These are selling $100. Should we sell our black and white proof?
I like our proof.
I have proofs from the original black and white when we were doing the archive stuff for the black and white remastered. We found all that stuff there. So yeah, so you guys, if you haven't checked out Ethan Van Sciver's Indiegogo, please do. Cyberfrog Blood Honey, 44 days left. He's got 816 backers, and this looks pretty killer. So go get the variants, black and white. I love to see black and white artwork because I can see the ink work, and I like ink work. Pencils are fine, colors are fine, but the ink work is the best. So I will stop sharing that with you.
You always said that's what makes a comic a comic.
Yeah,
ink work.
Yeah, one of the key is lettering, panel, and inks. Yes. Backed all 3, so Sierra Whiskey went in. He got the 3 books. Good man. So you guys support these books. Get out, check out everybody's YouTube. And Chrono Mechanics is on its way, you guys. The whole page is done. My wife and I have been working diligently. My wife, Pamela, and I have been working diligently to get this thing
You have more than one? You had to specify.
No, well, I wanted to say your name, but I misspoke and I just said my wife, and then I went into talking, but I was like, my wife Pamela, because it personalizes you and humanizes you, and it's just like, well, it's not just my wife. You know how people talk like my husband. Well, does your husband have a name? My husband. Oh, okay. Yeah, that doesn't help. My husband, Jim.
Well, I'm glad that you didn't say my wife, Anne, or Joy.
Who?
Just another woman.
A random name.
Yes, another female.
Okay. Every woman I've ever known, by the way, named Joy is not a Joy. I'm just saying they are the B words, man. And some of them are absolutely crazy. So Arts what is this? Should to catch up? Arts archives are what is this?
In hieroglyphical order.
Because
you're so old?
Yeah, I understand, but I was trying to think I should sculpt a hieroglyphics or go, wait, oh no, wait, we'll get to that. There's a joke in the chat. Okay. All right. You know what? I've been real careful on not like walking on eggshells and not like throwing anybody under the bus, but I did, so I'll get to that. Okay, so yeah, I should do a hieroglyphics, like go out in the backyard, find a rock and chisel, and just do a drawing, and then I can show you guys that I do have mad skills from my past. All right, so this is what we were laughing at. Well, you know what, Pixel? There's always exceptions. There's always exceptions. Even a broken clock. What? This is my chrono. Is correct twice a day. So on that note, before I got out of that, do you see how I got out of that?
Yes, you did.
That was good.
That was slick.
That was slick. Smooth. I'm sure she's a lovely lady, Pixel. So I'm sure she's lovely. Now we're gonna do the next couple is gonna just be the love for Joy. Yeah, for Pixel's wife. So wait, Pixel can't use his name, but he uses his wife's name.
Well, there's a lot of people named Joy.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of people that have Pixel's name too.
Pixel?
That's not his birth name. It can't be. His parents, the doctor held him up and they go, you know what? We were going to name him Jim, but you know what?
Sort of pixelated.
He looks like a pixel.
He's a little rigid.
He's a little pixely, so he's Pixel. Yeah. So this is turning into the Pixel Joy stream. Okay, so this is validation. So now I feel oh, look at this back pedal. It's her nickname. A likely story. All right, you guys. So please go check out the Chrono Mechanics pre-launch page. It's up. It's only going to be up another couple days. Pamela, I've been teasing. I haven't told them what they're going to get yet, but it's going to be very, very cool.
Oh, you haven't? How could you keep your mouth shut?
I haven't done that. And so also people in the chat are saying we should do it as a mystery tier. And then I told them also our boomer skills, we're not sure how to do that.
It's true.
So I imagine after lunch, the mystery tier is going to be looked into. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. It's been a blast. Pixel, I'm sure your wife is amazing and sweet. And thank you, Arthur Brown, once again, for putting the link for the Chrono Mechanics pre-launch page. Before I chime out, you guys should click on that. Skedaddle, go do it, sign up, give us all your personal info. I think just a dot of blood is all we need. Just
and shoe size.
Prick your finger and your shoe size and your wife's code name. And then everybody's going to write Joy. Okay, so I'm going to go have lunch with my lovely codename wife, Joy. And you guys have a great day. And we're going to do a Pontificators tonight, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So a few hours from now. So thanks again, you guys. Take care. Later.